Start the recording. Hello. Ding dong, ding dong. We'll do it. Okay, so do 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 do. Go back up to that. So Hercules, good sir, great smile, buddy. So I'm just gonna glance over this for future reference. If you want me to look at a specific post, where is it at here? You should be able to just link this individual post. Is this it? No, never mind. Did they get rid of that? Oh, that's weird. Anyways, so this asset is looking pretty cool. Dude, you've been waiting a month? So, rule of thumb, you apply to a place, right? They get back to you. Maybe you have a phone interview. Maybe they just say, hey, here's art test. You do the art test, turn the art test in, thank them for the opportunity. They give you an email back and say, thanks, we'll get back to you. Maybe they don't. But after 2 weeks, just contact them again with like a one-directional message, like, hey, thanks for the opportunity, blah, 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 blah. I look forward to hearing back from you. And then move on and act like that's done. Because like waiting on them is just burning your time, right? So after 2 weeks, contact them again and just remind them like, hey, you're still waiting. Thanks for the opportunity, and yeah, I look forward to future conversations. And then on to the next interview, and maybe they'll get back to you. If you're lucky, you get interviews piled up behind you, and then you're like going to a couple interviews, and then they start fighting over you. Wow, they're really making you wait. And then bears attack. So let's see here. Oh, nice, some videos too. So, hang on, if I keep going. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So this looks pretty cool. The materials look a little washed. Like they're a little on the lighter value range. Let me see if I can just move this over here. Compositionally, maybe you want it like more over this way, and that seeing more of the sky is kind of nice. Doing that, I don't know. Do you see how like, so this looks really washed out, and doing some stuff like that seems to be helping. It's like you just don't want the materials to look really washed. The next thing I would say is like poly count wise, it looks quite low, even though I think all of these wood planks are kind of modeled. I would I would angle them a little bit more so that you can see the variation, or maybe pay for the geometry in other ways. Doing something more interesting with the solar panels could be a nice way of breaking it up as well. Maybe some more surfboards, more storytelling with props around it. I'm not sure what that is back there. Is that an antenna? There's a huge dish on the back there. Gets all the channels. Man, 3 months later with a no. That's use an overlay. You mean like that? A little saturated. If you're talking about using an overlay with what I was painting with, I'm thinking temporary work, so I'm just doing it with the what is the Oki? I think it's like the dodge and burn. Yeah, dodge and burn. So I think I'm using the burn, but I'm using it on the mid tones instead of like highlights. It's like if you need to remove some highlights, you can burn out the highlights. Anywho, yeah, thinking about silhouette shape and kind of breaking away from the look of geometry, because geometry is very straight and linear looking. It's very mathematical, right? And if you can like curve shapes and bend things and kind of try and make it look a little bit more organic or non-geometric, that's going to be like a huge gain in quality almost instantly. Have you ever critiqued an egg? I have. Believe it or not, I have. It came down to micro surface detail and subtle subsurface scattering. Very, very subtle. That's key. But it's that micro normal maps, man. All right, look at this mask. So this looks pretty cool. Albedo wise, pretty interesting. There's some weird shape stuff going on in here that feels odd to me. Like when it gets bright like this, because like I was looking at this earlier. If you go into the inspector and then you go to emission, we'll do this. We'll screenshot that. We'll bring it into here. We're gonna see how this goes. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll go here. Oh. Okay, so that's diffuse only. Final render. So it's just got the emissive on there. You can't change the scenes, can you? Like the HDR scene that's coming through. That's kind of a shame. Okay, let's do that. Open this up a little bit. We'll line this up. So this is the albedo. Maybe I'll... Wait, what? Okay, so if your albedo... So I've turned the emissive off. Your albedo, where the eyes, where the glowing is happening, don't have that in your albedo. Later, Virus. Thanks for hanging out, man. Enjoy your dinner. I wouldn't put the glow in your albedo and instead rely on it when you get to this stage. So when it comes to this view, think about like how this is spread around, right? So let's see if we can. Maybe we need to lower the flow. I don't know. Not the opacity. There we go. Maybe we'll do this. So you almost don't want that color in there, right? And then maybe we'll spray a little bit of that on there. When something is glowing that much, you just want the glow to like kind of consume the space. And then when it comes down to like this view, you want the glow to like, because you're painting a lot of this stuff, you probably want the glow to hit these areas. So like getting that color, having that color hit here, maybe a little bit here, will really help sell that glow, right? Maybe a little bit there too. That's probably the only thing I could suggest for this. The other thing, maybe, let me think here. The darker values that you've got going on in here, be really careful with how dark you make those. And I would also strongly suggest, instead of having it dark, maybe painting it with a color instead for the shadows. Because having shadows that are like a gray value just doesn't feel right, if that makes sense. Other thing I would suggest is like taking this space down here and working through how to like separate it from the rest. Like you see me do this a lot with other people's stuff. Like that. Doing that, right? Let's see here. So I'm going overboard now. Get out, DiNusty. Okay. We need to get the highlights to kind of push those brighter spots down. See, now those feel like they're behind the mask or they're under it a little bit more. It's key. It's key. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh yeah, sorry. Half the time I'm not responding in here after I say, hey, critiques are open. Sketchfab links are fine. Polycount threads are fine. A single picture is fine. It'll have to be a link because like pictures don't post in here. Mike, buddy, that username though. Thanks for the follow. Let's see what else we got going on here. Hand painted. Let me double check, make sure. That was from Ander. Okay, so I'm dead focused on Artstation Challenge doing the scene. Approached it with a modeling all the planks, but now I'm changing towards textures. Green roof shingles on the right, for example. Because I know I'm behind schedule. Did your workflow from using masks also? Man, what am I doing here? Did your workflow for using masks also using camera-based tessellation for the ground and using baked lighting? I would love just a quick look at the overall feel, composition. I'm such a noob environment dude. Dude, we're always noobs. There's varying values of noobage. The most final building is the first one on the left. Let's see here. I think that's this one. Oh yeah, no, so other than there's some like dark pattern stuff here that's kind of odd. And there's a repeatable spot there. You just need to take your UVs and offset them randomly. This is the main. Because this angle is more compelling to me than this one. Like this angle is really interesting. This one's okay, but it requires that you really sell the distance shot. You actually have to do less work to get this one to look good. And even though the concept, like, I think doing this angle, it's totally fine. Matching a concept exactly will probably not get you further than, further in line to win versus someone who picked an angle that looked more interesting than the concept. You know what I mean? Use the concept to fuel yourself or propel yourself forward. So detail-wise, I'm liking what's happening here. There's some pattern, like duplication issues here with the UVs. Just offset the UVs on those every few. This is really nice detail here. I like how the door frame, you can see it silhouettes the shingle pattern that's going on with the wood. The level of detail that you've taken this, I would suggest doing that to everything and then coming back and polishing all the little details that you want. Yeah, dude. Definitely those are modeled. I can see I can see that. It's pretty cool. I think yeah. I mean, I concentrate and get all the big shapes out of the way. Like you've got the bigger stuff out, like where there's stairs, larger details that need to be there. Is there like fences or anything like that? Get those all in the space. But overall, I would suggest actually sticking to this angle and just going for it. Oh, pledge your allegiance to the Empire. Dude, 12 months. That's crazy. That's crazy. Is the lighting good? I think this angle is interesting. If you could get like an angle that casts more shadows into the street, just to give you some more shapes to play with, that would probably look pretty good. Yeah, dude, a year? That's crazy, man. I think you're the first one to hit a year. No, maybe there's two others. I don't know, I'll have to look it up. There are 66 of you in here. Thanks for hanging out, guys. But it's a little bit early for me to be critiquing too much stuff here. I would suggest getting a full pass on everything as quickly as possible. Tie-dye, what's up? How you doing? All right. All right, dude, that detail, though. So I like the roots on the ground. That's pretty interesting. It's really missing like a like what's your reference for this? Because I need to know like where you're coming from with certain things. Pusher, if you're still in chat, I think I asked you this before. It is you. Wait a sec. All right, I'm waiting a sec. Yeah. So you can see how in this shot, like the variation, like the ground separates itself from the foliage. But in these shots, it's much more like all the same. I'm trying to figure out how you get around. I think the sky, like, I think your ambient light needs to be more blue. Just to bring in some other colors, because it's very like single tone right now. Some monochrome action going on. And like the amount of geometry you have going on back here is pretty crazy. Like you see these clumps here, I would totally make big ones every once in a while just to kind of break up that edge. So it feels a little bit less tamed and kind of like more wild back there. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Let's grab some of these darker values down here. Put them in here. Hang on, where are we at? Nope, that's not gonna work. See what that does though? Like, oh man. That breakup. Oh yeah, okay, so like this image for example. Getting your greens closer to this. Okay, I wonder if I can just like, I wonder if this would work. Well, I'm sorry, we're doing it. I'm gonna do that just so we don't get any color craziness. That's the future. So I think, where are we at here? Match color. So if you do a match color, ref, and then art. So art layer selected, image adjustments, match color, and then source is untitled 4 ref. Oh, I have it hidden. There we go. Sorry. Let's see if this works. I haven't done this in a long time. Match color. We're match color. Ref. Yeah, it's not really doing it. Not really. But like, you can see how the ground is more warm, like red desaturated. I don't know if that. And then these colors, those ones match a little bit better now. You see here. The head tilt. That's how you know I'm thinking really hard. The ref is definitely darker because it's wet. Yes. Yeah, that's another thing that's throwing me off is like nothing looks wet in your scene, even though there's wetness information going on. Let's give me a second. I need to find the right, maybe this color. This is what I'll usually do, is just kind of scrub through some of these values and just see if anything sticks. Some of those are kind of working. So lightning is kind of filling the shadows with that color, which is good because then you can go in and like, then I can go in and actually darken that area and not let it get too dark. And then maybe we can go in and do some more. Dupe this again. Some more desaturation, but maybe. Oops, your blues. Can we bring the blues up? See, there's so much blue in the shadows. That's crazy. I think those highlights are causing issues. Anywho, let's go ahead and push this down. And then we can just create a mask on top of this. Create the mask. And we'll just paint back. That's a difficult one. I don't think I can adjust this one enough with the range and control that I have right now. But do you see, like, getting that separation between the two? Dude, it's going to help, like, immensely. Ooh, that's a good one, too. So, yeah, you can see, like, this color. Dude, nailed it. Nice job, man. But do you see the color difference? Like, I'll just remove that. So going less wet and more like textural information. The camera angle and perspective, the shot is strong. Like getting the breakup up there is like the first thing that I think will help. And then getting a separation between the mud and the dirt to the foliage is going to be your next push. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that. I'm sorry. It's cool though. It's cool. I like seeing this stuff. Oh snap. Oh snap. That looks terrifying. Something's going on, guys. Something is going on. Is this still open? It was when you posted. It's the fifth year final project. Sorry, I think I'm getting tired. I'm getting a little pushy. I'd love to hear what you think about it. Also, any tips on lighting and color grading? It seems these areas are I mostly struggle with at the moment. So this shot is already really interesting. It's just really dark. Like, look at that range. Like, you're sitting mainly in this area. I think turning it up a bit. Probably don't need to go too high in the highlights just because of the bloom. Actually, let's dupe this off. So let's go ahead and turn this quite a ways up. Man, this is a cool picture, man. Picture man, cool, man. It's really interesting. So I really like this stuff here. So you have to remember how bright that is. It's going to be in the reflection of that material pretty easily. So you want to be able to see your scene better. But the ominous view of it is important as well. I almost feel like this area right here really needs to just go nuts. Like that light source is so bright. You know what I mean? Midtones, no highlights. There we go. Maybe it is a mid-tone. Hang on. Oh, Jesus. Ah. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll do like a... Actually, Why is that not switching? I keep hitting a button that's like, no, no, you don't want to do that. Why would you want to do that? So this shot's sick, man. I think I like how wide this is, so I'm making it wider. So that is dope. I think you're good. If I could frame it a little better, I'd probably go more like right here. I'll just take this area here and do this. You didn't see me do this. Framing wise, that's solid. Like you got like so when you go here. So now you've got this on this tangent line here. You've got this one centered up here. This one's nice in the third of these three. And everything is doing this. Everything is doing this. Everything's pointing here. It's cool. I think it's just really dark initially. 69 viewers, oh my god. This is cool though. Like I like this image. I think getting the roughness information on the floor a little bit more accurate to how bright this is, and you're like, it's full on. It's like, this is what you gave me, right? And it's real dark. We do this, like it's really dark. So we bring up those highlights there, and then because I made the frame wider, I just stretched it over there. Foliage is freaking it's nice. Feels good. Anywho, hopefully that answers some questions. I'm not too familiar with color grading, so there's that. Oh snap! Oh, this is coming along nicely, man. This one's really nice now. It's got a good area of rest right here, while still having detail. Yeah, this guy's crazy, man. He creates really large scenes, like almost feels effortless. I think what you need are like breakup in the surfaces, or like the contact breakup that I always talk about, like a puddle or some grungy stuff that's kind of got into here a little bit. Some dripping. Like this has got some stuff, like this stuff here. More of that around here. Dude, there's some crazy wood mess up craziness going on here. Like someone needs to nail that down. That is out of control. Decals. Yeah, man. I mean, that can come right near the end, right? Once everything's kind of like locked into place. This is pretty nice, dude. I think, so when I look at this guy, I feel like this guy should be more over here. Just because, like, spacing wise. So come on, give me some sky. Spacing wise, that felt kind of weird with it being so close to everything else. Like the distance between, like if I paste this again, the distance between everything is so even. Like this and this. These are all like Those ones are a little better, but like these two, so close together, just lengthen it to like here. Doot. 3-pointer. Anywho, yeah. I think decals and some like little micro propping, like little cups and barrels, and you got your barrels, but we need like little cups and tipped over cans and Yeah, it just needs that little layer of details. But this is freaking crazy. I love the focus being here. Like having all that roughness. That shine. Gotta get all that metal. My brain wants to see this at night. I want to see what you would do with the lighting. I bet you could do something pretty cool. I don't have too much to say on this though, man. I think it just needs those smaller details. The saturation might be a little... Like over here, you're getting pretty contrasty. I'd be careful with the metals getting that dark. Like down here, that metal is quite dark. Let's see what the... Oh, this is interesting. Hang on here. I wonder if you were to play with your saturation and then like push saturation to the 100% at your focal points for the shots. That could be pretty cool. Cause like that's the full image, right? But maybe like toning it down half, or like 36% black and white, and then like where you need your focus. Cause see, this is basically what I'm doing. Let's see, most interesting shot. Dude, there's some good ones in here, man. I don't know. I think... Yeah, Abel with the temple. Getting it. This one is really strong. This one right here. Careful with these lines. These lines are... They're getting really... They're doing weird things with the composition because you've got this thing floating here. I think if that line in the back was lower in saturation... Let me see if I can... So if I do this... Or lower in... higher in value, sorry. So we go back here. Let's paste that. We'll just zoom in really close. It's a really small image. I'm sorry. Because it is a nice detail to have. It's just a matter of making sure... Making sure it's not too dark. And the reason for that is so that it separates itself from this shape, right? So you kind of want to... Well, maybe not that crazy. Yeah, you want that to happen. You want that shape to pop, right? You want that to pop out from the scene. And if the background shape behind it is the same brightness or value, it all comes together and snaps, like detracts from what's actually floating in front of you. I think it's good to have. It's just getting it to separate it a little bit more. Man, this is super good though. This one bugs me. Like that line, it's just barely touching. I think if I had to pick an image, man, there's some good shots in here, dude. Don't get rid of these. I would probably pick this one or this one. Ah, man. Yeah, that's tough, dude. I don't know yet. I mean, you're bringing all of it pretty close to finished, so. Jeremiah Baker. Oh, cool. What? That's cool. Got some storytelling. All right, so be careful with like how basic the shapes are. Like I was saying in the other critiques, like getting away from things looking geometric is key to like breaking away or breaking out as a 3D artist. If you can get away from like where people are like, "Oh, that looks like geometry." And then when they get to the point where they're like, "How the hell?" Like this type of stuff, that's dope. That's the detail. That's the good stuff. I like the scattering of a little bit of weeds and stuff. Sorry, I'm skipping through this. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So there's stuff like this, the bend in there. If I don't know what the reason is for that bend being there, then it ends up looking amateur because like there's not a design reason behind it, right? So I would suggest keeping that straight and then maybe even like keeping the value tones in line with the rest of the scene, just because now all I'm seeing is 4 of these doing this weird shape and I don't know why. That's cool. Some storytelling. Out here, I would think about like most traveled paths, placing decals or value shifts with vertex paint and like lighter areas where there's a lot of traffic, lots of footsteps. That hovering vehicle is really low to the ground for hovering. Just like those edges touching. Probably raise that just a little bit. This is cool. The door, I would suggest maybe either using different plank sizes or offsetting them so that they don't line up with the wall. Because right now it actually looks like you just have a frame and the planks from up here are cutting through that frame. Like it's like a block out. Yeah, cart tracks. Tire tracks too, sure. I like the little twist of details that you're adding there. It's cool. Again, be careful with keeping it very geometric. I know because it's sci-fi, right? It's like, or yeah, sci-fi. Sci-fi shapes can be very geometric. Um, Finding ways to use that geometry or those geometric shapes without making it look like low poly mesh is pretty difficult. This is a nice shot here. You turn the fog up a little bit so that you get this pillar separating from the back here. You're going to have yourself a nice screenshot. Holy crap. I failed you guys. It's almost 10. Yeah, get that smoke coming off of the steam or whatever, coming off and like filling up here and using that to separate this beam from the underside of this. It's coming along nicely though. This looks pretty solid. Oh, this song is weird. Not in the mood for it. This looks good, man. I think these little spots are kind of weird. But other than that, I think it's almost done. Getting some glow coming from this because the atmosphere is pretty key, and I think turning up the saturation a little bit. I don't know. Let me see here. Yeah, I would say turn up the saturation a little bit, but also be careful not to oversaturate some stuff, like this barrel. Probably want to keep that kind of toned down, but the rest can be really saturated. Ah, this looks dope, man. I think the snow too. If like some of the snow in the shadows is a little bit darker, that'd probably help out a little bit. What's up, Kyle? How you doing? Yeah, maybe some bloom or like yeah, bloom. I think it's bloom. I was gonna say God rays, but that's probably a little bit overkill. Ah, fire. This isn't working at all. Be really subtle with it, right? Anywho, it's cool. This is a solid looking scene, man. It's almost done. Almost. Yeah, be careful with these weird spots, like I was saying. The like I can't explain what they are. Yeah, it's a Paradise List, I think. Yeah. There you go. Dang, guys. I think I have to go. I didn't get through all of them. Oh, dang, son. This is looking good. Make sure to get that dirtiness on there. Composition, super, super strong. Looking good so far. I actually don't have anything to say on this right now. Maybe tone down how far the light travels on this. Whoa. Whoa. This is pretty cool. Could really benefit from some roughness variation. Because, like, this doesn't look like it's underwater. Ooh. Ooh. This shot's cool. Need some more geo there if you're going to get close like that. Dude, this looks dope. Space Pirates? Oh, yeah, these are nice. Dang. Okay. I'm actually going to leave all these tabs up, and on Monday I'm going to talk about these a little bit more. Because there's some more stuff to look through. Oh, man, you guys are beast mode. Oh, and I already opened that one. That one. That one. There's only 5 more to go, but I have to get out of here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's another realm. Dude, solid, though. Looks freaking... That looks solid. Alright, guys. Sorry that I have to get out of here. You guys have a good weekend. Join the Discord if you haven't. Follow the channel. There are 70 of you here. You guys go and hang out with Graffiti. He's probably streaming now. Lambor Sheeny, thanks for the follow. Mad Art, thanks for the follow as well. Judd, again, dude, 12 months. 12 months of sub. You're my hero. He is? All right. We shall raid him the traditional way. Just go check him out. I'll be hosting him as well, so. Until then, you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy the weather if it's nice where you're at. Kaboom!